This one window will be for the table reference, right? So I can go into this table, put a filter. This is what I'm talking about. Active is true, right? So you have 29 records where active equals true matches your condition, right?
Right.
So to do that, we have a function here which is known as add an active query, right? You do not have to apply that filter explicitly, right? You have add an active query, and then you can do a while. Do something like this, copy this, and run this script. So this is going to print you all the inactive queries that you have, right?
Oh.
Meaning all those incidents where active equals false, right? So this is
Yeah.
another method that you'll be using. Uh, Here we go. 22 records. Add an active query. And in the table we had 29. So wait a second. It should have more records. Oh, we saw active equals true. We have to see active equals false.
Oh, okay.
Those are the inactive queries. So we have 22
Inactive.
records.
Yeah.
We have 22
Yeah.
records now, right? So to see inactive queries, use add inactive, right? So you have to use this one. Now let's move to the next one. All right, let's see what this add domain query does, right? So it changes the domain used for query from the user's domain to the domain of the provided GlideRecord. All right, this example requires the domain plugin to be active. So there is a plugin known as domain plugin, which is for domain separation. So if you have that plugin active, then probably we can see that here. Let's read through the description here. This example requires a domain plugin to be active. The group table is the specified domain table, and ideal user is in the database Atlanta domain. From any domain using query no domain, look up the incidents that an ideal user can only see. Who is in the database Atlanta domain should expect all incidents with the global or the database Atlanta domain is specified. Okay. So there is a concept of domain separation in ServiceNow, right? So by doing domain separation, what you do is you only you want to show up data of a particular domain to users of that particular domain, right? So this is basically kind of a grouping that you are doing. So right now in our environment, we do not have domain separation enabled, and the domain plugin is not active. So we might like to skip through this, but I want you to know that there is some concept of domain separation that you might use in future, right?
Okay.
Now let's look into this add join query. It public query condition add join query, and it says adds a filter to return records based on the relationship in a related table. Now to your question yesterday, See, see what we are doing. Here is the glide record to the problem table. You are doing problem.add join query and you are joining it on the incident table, right? So two tables here. The first table is problem, the second table is incident, and then you are querying the glide record which we created, which is pro, right? And then you are finding, browsing through the results that you have. Let's look into this example.
Okay.
I'll copy this here and go back to scripts background, put it here, and let's see. So in JavaScript, for commenting a single line comment, you use 2 forward slashes. For multiple line, you use forward slash star and then you close by star forward slash. You know that,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
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 Now, here is a glide record on the problem table. Here is a glide record on incident table, right? And where the problem, here is a query for within the problem table, which is a glide record gr. You are putting a filter which is active equals false. So you are going to look into all data from the problem table where active equals false, and then on the incident table you are putting a condition where active equals true, right? So you are trying to get all problems from the problem table which are inactive and all incidents from the incident table which are active, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you are querying it, and then you will print it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here we go. It shows nothing. We do not have anything like that. Active equals false, active equals true. So let's go into the problem table. In the incident table, which is GRSQ, GlideRecord incident table, we are looking for active equals true. We have a lot of data into active equals true here. Now
Yeah.
let's go to problem table and see if we have active equals false. So I'll go active is false. Alright, so we have these 6 records which has active equals false. Wait a second. Find active equals false. The exception problems that have associated, however, it will pull values from the incidents that are returned as part of query. Example, active equals false problems with associated incidents. Find problems that have incidents associated with where the incident color field value matches that problem opened by field. Should bring some result back. GlideRecord problem. Join query. gr.add query active equals false. gr.query. Interesting. It should bring your result. And it is giving you all
Yeah.
those problems. If we do this, it gives you the problems. Problem. Pro- Uh, if I scroll down, does it give something that's undefined?
Oh.
Oh, that's caller ID.
Oh, okay.
It's undefined. Why? Open by. It should be open by.
Mm. Okay.
Let me have it here. Um, if we do not join it, let's see what it is doing. It is giving us all the problems. So this is what is happening. See. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You are doing a query on the problem table, right?
Right.
Now let's get rid of this statement. We are not joining the incident table here, right?
Okay.
Let's do I equals 0 and then
I plus plus.
and I'll print it here. It brings you 17 records, right?
Right.
From the problem table, it brings you 17 records, and the condition was active equals. Total number of queries in the problem table were 70, right? So you have
Yeah.
within the problem table you have 17 records in total, right?
Yeah.
Now what we are doing is we are joining it to the incident table, right? When we join this to incident
Mm.
table, we get 7 records,
Yeah.
right? Meaning there are 7 incidents which are associated to some sort of problems, right? Problems and
Right.
incidents can be interrelated. These can be related. So if we go to the incident table, uh, try to see if we have a problem associated. See, there is a field problem here
Mm.
that is a foreign key into the problem table, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I now bring it here. You can see that,
Problem. Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to filter out this record where the problem is blank, and I can see that we have few records here, 14 records, which are which are related to the incident. So we have 14 problem records created here, right? Now, some of the incidents are having the same problem record, like problem 1, right? Problem 11 in all of these. So it is getting you the filtered value and non-repetitive value of problem here, right? So by doing join, you are making sure that you are getting the common fields from both the tables, from the problem and the incident. So it is working on the join field, right? And it is getting you the join data from those two tables, right?
Right.
So here we go. What's the add join? I'll put this code for you so you are able to review it later.
Right.
Inactive query, I'll put it here. Query selected columns. And you can do the rest of the 4 above, right? These are pretty simple ones. So
Yeah.
let's move to next. Add not null query. See, if we are onto the problem table, and we are to see where you do not want to see the null values in the record here, right? So in that case, you will use this add not null query method, and it will make sure that the field that you are looking for, it is not fetching out the null values. For example, if I am
Okay.
here and I want to see the short description, and if I do short description is empty and I run it, I do not have a record here that where the short description is empty. Let me see, I can get this one. Let's do this. Incident 1, I got rid of the short description.
Yeah.
When I run it now, it gives you, right? So you
Yeah.
have it here. Now let's do this. I want to do where gr equals new glide record on incident table, right? And I'll do gr dot add not null query, and not null has to be implemented on short description,
Description.
right? So it will give me
Right.
all the columns, it will return all the columns to me, but the column which does not have the short description will not be returned. While gr dot next gr dot print now print gr dot number. Wait, I think I did something wrong.
Yeah.
I was distracted. Looks right. Short description, target query, target dot next. This is correct. Add not add not null query, short description, gr dot query. What does it say? Missing semicolon. So somewhere I am missing semicolon. Where? Oh, here we go. So we have all we have
Oh,
all
okay.
we have all incidents here, but we do not see INC001, right? The first
Yes,
one, because
because that
this does not contain.
short description is null.
Right, exactly. The short description is not here. So this is what the add not null, query does to you, right?
Mm.
So it gives you all the not null values, right? If I remove this not from here, and let's try to see if,
One record.
yeah, it will show you just one
Yeah,
record,
one record. Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
not null query, right? So I'll put another script here. I'll take it here. Add null query, and I'll put it here. And all right, so you have two functions done. You now know how to use these two, right? Let's move to next.
Yeah.
Add or condition, right? So this is when you try to do select star from table 1 where call 1 equals xxx, or something like call 1 equals YYY. So you give two options, right? Either this or this. So if you are doing this,
Right.
you need the OR condition here, right? So this is what you have to do. Add OR condition, all right? So take it here. Now go to the script background, paste it. Now you are working on incident table and you are trying to query where category equals hardware or category equals software, right?
Software.
Right. So any of these, right? And third query is priority equals 1, right? So you put the OR condition here, right? This is the query condition. The query condition is gr.added query, add query, category equals hardware, and then again the query condition and OR condition is category equals software, and then the final condition that you are putting is priority equals 1. You can put some more. You can put gr.add query. You can do active equals true, right? And then you can do where you can do I equals 0, go into the loop while gr.next, and you do gs.print, and then gr.number, you increment I, and you do gs.print I.
Here it's not a variable.
What?
We don't
What?
I is equal to, when you say I is equal to 0.
Right.
Usually, for example, in C# or something, or C++, we say int I, right? Is equal to 0. You first declare and instantiate, right?
Right. JavaScript, even if you do not put var, it takes it as var, right?
Oh, that's why, right? Okay, got you.
Although it goes into
Usually,
yeah.
in C# we say int I is equal to 0. That
Right.
means,
Right.
oh.
All right. So we have our query ready. We are doing on the incident table, and we're trying to find out if we have records into the table that will have category equals hardware or category equals software, right? Let's do that. Let's put that condition. So I'm going to put category is hardware or category is software, and I'm running it. It gives me 19 records. But then we have additional condition here, priority equals 1. So I'm going to put one more condition, and priority is 1, and I'm running it. So it gives me 10 records. But then I have one more query, which is active equals true, right? So I'm going to put and active is true, and I'm going to run it. All of them are true. Wait a second, I think I did wrong. I think we need to put it active equals 1.
Okay.
No? Active, something wrong. Active equals 1, and I run it. Count equals 0. Wait a second. Um, count equals 0. It should give me more results. What if I get rid of all these two and I just print it? Am I printing it right? Incident gr.number. That's correct. A plus plus G is print. It is not going into the loop. If I get rid of these, try to eliminate what line of code is problematic for you. So I'm eliminating it. It is printing nothing, so it is not giving me anything. So maybe I have done some spelling mistake or something. Here dot add query, category hardware, category software, and I haven't done query actually. I'll need to do gr dot query. That's the reason I didn't do gr dot query.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was not querying the table actually. So now I can do gr dot add query, and then you can put priority equals 1. So you will get 10 records probably. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 records. And that's true because you have 10 records there. Now let's put active equals true as well. So I'll put one more gr dot add query, and here I'll put active equals, and it should give me 7 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gives you 7 records. And that comes from the filter that you have here. Right? You now get 7 records. Right? So this is, what is the function name? Or query. Right? Add or condition. So
Yeah.
add or condition. Right, here we go. I'm pasting it for you.
Okay.
Right. Now you can do one more thing. We have talked about encoded queries, right?
Yeah.
You could go and do this where gr equals new glide record on incident table, and you can do gr dot add encoded query, and then you put this within the table, and you do gr dot query. This will give you the same result because you had the encoded query. You have the encoded query value here. It will give you the same result because you took the filter from here, right?
Yeah,
You
this one
applied
is
that.
interesting. Encoded
Right.
query. Okay.
Right. You took the filter and you are applying the filter here, and you will get
Yeah.
the required result, right?
Mm.
So in the runtime, you can apply the encoded query like this. I think we discussed it yesterday. Let's put this as example here for you. Right? You have this example,
Yeah. Yes, very good.
right?
Mm.
I'm sorry. Now let's look into the next one, which is add query. Add query we did. Right.
Add query we did, yeah.
Yeah, add query we did. See here in this, we are doing add query.
Yeah, we did. Add query, yeah, we did that.
Right. So you can take the same example. You can copy paste the same example here to see add query.
Yeah.
Alright. Now next is using the in operator.
The N, that N?
Right.
In operator, yeah.
Yeah, so let's
We use
copy
in
this.
SQL as well.
Right. So this is the same as, for example, I was doing this. So I was doing, I was referring to a couple of tables, right? And this is just an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
User
Where?
devices, user locations, and current advisory data. UD, UL, and CAD. I did where UD.device ID equals UL.device ID, and I was concatenating something. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a field in users locations which is zip code, and I was concatenating :29 into it, and I was doing in search
Yeah.
within
That
this
query, yeah.
data set, right?
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
need to perform something like this, right,
Yeah.
you have this inquiry available here, so you can use your in operator within this add query, right? So for example, the glide record here is QUE, right? And you are doing QUE dot add query, and you do number in this incident number, and then you do QUE dot next, and then do GS dot print, and you do QUE dot number plus something QUE dot short description, right? So this will give you two incidents, incident numbers followed by their short description, right? Because you are just querying on incident 01 and 02, and it will show you, wait a second, did we query QUE dot number, QUE dot short description? GlideRecord on incident table INC001. Do we have this INC0001? INC, no, we do not have, because we have 3 to 6 zeros in it. So we have 4 zeros, 5, 6. Yes. See, now we have 2 records, but one of them we have the record in the table, the other one we do not have in the table. So if I run this script, I'll get 1 record. See, INC001. You get that? So you
Yeah,
have
I get that.
a data set here, right? And within that data set, you are looking for number fields, looking for these numbers, right? And within these numbers, only INC, this one 001 is available in your table, so you will get that record only, right? If I put 2 more zeros here and run this, then
Probably no,
you will
not
get the
find
other
it.
one as well, right?
Yep, 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 yep.
So that's your database inquiry in operator,
In operator.
right? Using the in operator, using the in. Although you have all these queries on wiki, but I just put it here so that when you practice it,
Yeah, it should be
you have
easy to practice it. Yeah.
yeah, you have the complete script with you, right? Because on wiki some of the lines are not there, but so you will have to rewrite it.
That's very true.
Right, so we have the in operator done. Now let's see what this is. Controlling invalid queries. GDS.get session, set a strict query false. By default, queries with invalid field names run but ignore the invalid conditions. Alright? For example, if you are running a glide record, but the condition that you put is not valid, right? So by default, what happens is the glide record would run, but then it will ignore the invalid conditions that you have implemented, right? For more strict query control, you can enable the glide invalid query returns no rows property, which will result in an empty result set for invalid queries. Right, and it is talking about properties. So you have to go into system properties here,
Yeah.
right? And then you have to find out that property, which is this one. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know what display name it has into the property list, because if you go into system properties, you have all this long list of properties here. So instead I'll do is, I'll go into the table directly. I'll go to sysproperties.list, and then I'll try to search the name of the property. I'll paste it here and search it. Let me see if we have this record. Oh, we do not have it here. That property is not created here. It's not in here. Wait a second. Let me verify this. Invalid query returns something like this. Try to do this. We do not have that property here, right? So we will have to create that property somehow. I'm not sure why this property is not here. By default, queries with invalid field names run but ignore the invalid condition. For more strict query control, you can enable the glide invalid query returns no rows property, which will result in an empty set for invalid queries. When this property is enabled, you can temporarily override the logic on the session by turning off a strict query control. Right, so programmatically, you can control the behavior of the invalid queries that you make, and you can override the property as well. This property we do not have into this property list here, so we'll have to see why this is not here, and we'll have to create it as well if needed. right? But theoretically, this is what we have to do, right? If we have invalid query conditions, and we have that property enabled, so this will allow you not to return invalid records, and it will send you empty data set if it is all invalid record that is being returned,
Right. Okay.
right?
Uh,
All right. Can delete. Now, some of the methods in the glide record will also look look into the access control rule, meaning um, you have access to what table, what records, what type of access you have. So this is all about access control rules, right? For example, if you create a table and you are owner of the table, then you can create, read, update, or delete on that table. You can do CRUD operations. But if, for example, if somebody else has created a table and he does not want you to update the records into the table or insert records into the table, right? Or he wants you to insert records into the table but does not want to update records in the table, right? So, so this kind of access control rule you can implement on the table level, row level, field level, application level, stuff like that, right?
yeah.
So can delete determines if the access control rules, which includes the user's role, permit deletion of records in this table, right? If if, for example, if you are a user in ServiceNow and if you do not have delete permissions, you cannot delete that record into the table from the table, right? So for that, you
Yeah.
have this can delete function which returns a boolean, right? And this is how we use. Let's look into. Uh, it is looking into the sys attachment table,
Yeah.
and it is getting the sys attachment.sys ID. SM is Glide Security Manager. I think we should skip this for now because we need to look into the Glide Security Manager and stuffs like that, and this is another class and it could be probably difficult for you to understand, so I'll skip through it right now,
Yeah.
right? This is a different class, so we are doing just glide
Okay.
records right now, right? Let's see if we can understand this. Yeah, I think this is okay, right? So if you need to check
Right.
if,
If there is any attachments, right, we
right,
can.
yeah, if you want to check if any proper record has attachments or not, right, then you can do this. Right now it is talking about current.request item. If I run this query as is, it will show me errors because the current object is not defined. So let's see. If I'm doing this, it is saying that there is an error. Cannot read property which is requested item because we do not have the current object defined here. Right? So this was
Yeah.
supposed to show us an error. So instead of providing that current object here, what we can do it, we can go into the, what is the table name? SC request item,
Yes. Yes.
service catalog dot request item, and I'm going to list it out. And from here,
Very good.
I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy sys ID, right? And here within sys ID field, I'm going to put that, right?
Yeah. And then it will.
And then I'm going to print the number field. I'll do gs dot print and then I'll do rec dot number. Make sense?
Yep.
It is going to print the RITM. So RITM001 is the sys ID that we picked, right? We picked this record. We picked the sys ID of this record. We went into the script, right? Instead of putting the current record here, I just supplied the sys ID of the first record into the table, right? And I was able to get, and I can see, let's try to find out. I can do this. let's do this. Request this. Has attachments equals, and I am going to put this boolean value because this is going to return a boolean. So if I do this, it will give me either true or false. So I'm copying it. See, it says this request does not has attachment to it, right? Request this RITM001 does not have attachment because we have false. So we can improve this. I can do this. I can go ahead and put this statement here, and I can get rid of this. I can put an else condition here and print it here. Is it making sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Right, so just a simple if
Then
else.
I will go back and review.
Sure. So just a simple if else condition, just to check if the request that we are talking about contains attachment or not. So I'm copying it and I'm running it. So it says request RITM001 does not have
Does
attachments.
have attachment. Okay.
Now let's go back, open this one and attach something to it, right?
Okay.
I'm going to choose a file from desktop and I'm going to upload a link file. It is taking too much time.
So because size is bigger.
Let's refresh this. Here we go. I'm opening it. Attachments. Choose file. From the desktop, I'm going to pick this date.html. It should be fairly simple. Now I'm updating it. Go back to scripts background.
Yeah.
Paste our request, and now I run this script and it says request has attachments.
Oh,
Right?
very interesting. Yeah.
Right, so you have that script here as well. Alright,
Okay.
so I just wanted to demonstrate these scripts, although we have a lot of, lot more scripts here that
Yeah.
that we need to look into. So here I am going to send this email out to you that contains
Please. Yeah.
all those scripts, working scripts,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you can,
Review it and
yep,
yeah.
scripts. Don't need my signature here. Query all table is, let me put it, query all record. So I'm getting rid of this. Few records. Then for few records you have, let's do this. Active equals this. So you have that done. Query selected columns. So it's just this one. So yeah, I think you have example for all of it.
Yeah.
GlideRecord scripts. Right? Send it. So you have it. All right, Michael. So
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
thank you. Michael, what time you go to bed?
Now it's 9 p.m. Usually after 10:30.
After 10.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I was just curious. Can we delay the session by half an hour or something? If you are comfortable with that.
To make it 8:30.
Yeah.
Up to 9:30.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's great. So that way I can have some additional sleep.
Yeah, I understand. It's you wake up early, right?
Yep. Wake up early. So
Okay, yeah.
if
We
we
can
can
do
do that,
8:30 to 9:30.
yeah, let's do that. Right. Tomorrow
So
onwards.
starting tomorrow?
Yeah, starting tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right. So this way, even if I am asleep, I'll be up by then and I do not miss any class. So, right.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
like we had on
So
Monday,
yeah,
I was not
yeah.
able to wake up. So,
I completely understand that. It's not easy. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
we can do that. So starting tomorrow, we will meet 8:30.
sure. And we'll use the same meeting ID because this will be valid. Right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you. You have a good night.
All right, so I'll get to it.
Bye.
Have a good day.